Hello, my name is Emmanuel Krakue. Before devCodeCamp, I was a aviation flight equipment technician Marine in the United States Marine Corps, and I did that for about 8 years. When I was getting out, I had to transition. There was a program TRS to transition you out the military to become a civilian, but because it was during COVID, it was a lot harder to do those classes properly. So I ended up missing a lot of skills that I needed to survive as a civilian. So as the first 3 months when I got out, it was a struggle trying to figure out how to articulate my skill set that I had in the military to try to find a job. And initially, I reached out to other people like that that was in the military, but the problem was because we're from different branch or just different MOS, it was hard to tell those people for those people to help me articulate those skills that I needed. Even my mentors couldn't help me. So after struggling, I decided that I wanted to help people. Then the best way to do that would to if we had an app that we could reach out to each other on, because there's all these social media app nowadays, but it would be nice if we had one just for veterans or active duty or reserve, or pretty much in the military in general, that we can reach out to each other, mentor each other, help each other. And no matter if it's suicide prevention or counseling or whatever it is, we can be there for each other and just have a tighter community. And so that's why I got that idea for Veteran Connect. So with Veteran Connect, I'll go ahead and tell you about the technology that I use. On the front end, I use React, JavaScript, Bootstrap for modals and tables, HTML, CSS with Axios. On the back end, I use Python, Django REST framework, and I use Postman to test those API, and I also use MySQL database. All right, one of the biggest hurdles that I endured, that I had to conquer during this project, was actually find a way to query the database to display all the posts for me, for the user and their friends. And it took me a couple of days to try to figure that out. And once I figured it out, it was downhill from there. But it was rough. But it was fulfilling when I finally figured it out. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about the features that we have. So the first page is a register page over here. You go ahead and put in all your information. And the main thing that I want to talk about is the select over here. So based on the military branch and the grade, it generate the rank, because there's 5 different branches and they each have their different set of ranks. So if I were to go ahead and pick the Army, and let's say I pick officer, it'll go ahead and generate the ranks for the officer in the Army. But if I were to go ahead and pick the Marine Corps, and let's say I go enlisted, going to go ahead and generate the enlisted ranks for the Marine Corps. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick sergeant, because that's what I was, best rank in the Marine Corps. And you can go ahead and hit register, but for the sake of time, I already went ahead and pre-created a user already, and we're going to go ahead and use him to go through the rest of the features. So we're going to go back to the login page over here, and my user is Peachy Pete. So let's go ahead and log in Peachy Pete. So once you log in, you come to the feed page, and on the feed page, pretty much display all the feed for you and your friends. So you can go ahead and tell everybody what's on your mind. What's on my mind right now is hello world. Go ahead and post that, and as you can see, go ahead and post at the top of your feed. And once you get here, you can go ahead and reply to each post. And there you go, and you got the name, the rank name, rank, last name, first name, the active duty, pretty much the status, and the branch. So, and one thing on the welcome page, the first thing you see is your welcome. It gave you a welcome message, and also on here, it got a search bar up here. This is where you search for personnel based on rank, name, MOS, or whatever you're trying to search by. So we're just gonna go ahead and type man in here. And for man, we got Sergeant Manny, we got Lance Cooper, the man, and Gunner Sergeant Low Man. So let's go ahead with the sergeant over here. And this is a modal, by the way. So once you search, the modal's gonna pop up displaying all that search result. So you click on the name, and it brings you to that person page. And on their profile page, you can see their information over here. And this was another problem that I struggle with, trying to get these images to display. It took me a while because I was trying to make this image the default image. So whenever you create an account, it automatically store this image as your profile image until you go back and upload a new image. So it took me a while to try to figure that out. But once I figured out the reason why it wasn't working, it was it was like, man, it was like one of those moments. Like I figured this out days ago, but I mean, it's just one of those things. But another thing that gave me a problem was to randomly display these buttons. Pretty much what this button does is it checks to see if you're in that friends list, and Sergeant Pete is a friend with Sergeant Manny over here. It displayed the remove friend. So if you click that, it removed Sergeant Pete from Sergeant Manny's friends. So now the option is going to change to add friend. We're going to go ahead and add him, and as you can see, he pops back up here, and you got the option for that remove friend. Now, this whole project happened over a 10-day sprint, and there's still a couple more features that I would like to add. The next feature that I plan on adding is a message system, pretty much to make a post request to be able to send message to each other based on the profile over here. Since you got a user that's already logged in, you got a user that you already got his profile information up here, and you got his ID up here, you could just use that to make that post request to that user. So that's what I plan on doing next. And also after that, I plan on making each of these a button for the friends, so that way once you click on that, it'll take those user ID and re-render the page and display that user profile instead. Now I'm gonna go back to the front page here, and then that's pretty much all I have for my Veterans Connect. Once again, my name is Emmanuel Krakue, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Thank you.